Well, good afternoon guys, I hope you're all doing bloody well, and welcome along to another episode of Draw With Mikey. This of course is the super casual swear word alert, spoiler alert, midweek series where basically the main focus is I get to read through the comment section and catch up with you guys, answer any questions, maybe ask you guys some questions back in return and basically say hello. And really in the background it's just whatever I happen to be working on, whether I'm filling up the sketchbook, working digitally, and maybe in the background right now you guys are working on your own artwork or getting some other bits out of the way, or maybe there's something on your mind and you've just thought, I really want to know about this. Maybe I'm going to get into the comment section right now, ask Mikey, and next week he might read it. That's how the world spins round. At the moment, what I've got in the background video, I thought I'd just better say right now to get out of the way, is the hands warm-up I did before the last hands tutorial. So basically they're kind of like a little bit derpy, most of the hands, because I start from cold, get a little bit more fluid as I go on. It's always a very good idea to warm up, and this is just an example of you guys seeing what I was up to. Also, because it allowed me just to investigate the difference between the Tombow Fudenosuke pen soft nib and the Tombow Fudenosuke pen hard nib, because these are the things I care about in life. I'm such a loser. But the hard nib version of that pen, which I wasn't aware existed until just recently, allows for much thinner solid lines, but doesn't have that smooth fluid growth into some really thick heavy lines as well. So I just wanted to play around with those guys. And also, last thing to mention is that I just basically popped online, looked for some hand references to have a go at for part of my warm-up, and I found a really nice reference sheet by Kibitzer on DeviantArt, Kibbitzer. So I just thought I'd say I'm using somebody's reference sheet they've kindly made up there in case this kind of looks familiar. Anywho, that's all the batting out of the way. Let's dive into the comments, say hello to you guys and see what's going on. I'm just gonna make sure I've got some other bits up as well. Lovely. Sorry, I'm always all over the place these days, but let's dive in and say hello to CV Drawing Etchy, who says, Thanos-chan is so cute. I like the idea to turn everything and everyone into cute chans. Great work, and it was a lot of fun to watch your stream, Mikey. CV, thank you very much. Yeah, you popped along. That was absolutely fantastic. Get back to streaming if you ever... I'm not going to force you, dude, but if you ever feel so inclined to start streaming again, I'd love to see some of your artwork live, which is, of course, always a bit lewd, so actually thinking about it, maybe Twitch might not be a safe place for you. But thanks as ever for popping along. Chillout Midweek says, Mikey, I want to do a show kind of like Draw With Mikey, where I respond to my subs comments of the previous video. Basically, it's a blatant rip-off. Lols, I'd love to get your blessing. I think it would be a great way to connect with my community, but I don't want to do it without the okay from Senpai. Oh, seriously, dude, like, trust me, I have not... This is not an original series. I'm sure it's been done 100 times. I'm not the first person to come up with the idea of reading through your delicious comments whilst, you know, having some kind of visual stuff on in the background. You don't need my blessing. I hope you have a great time with it. I hope it really helps you connect with the community as well. Crack on, good sir. But thank you very much for asking. It's also equally very kind. And Sagewan Art says, awesome draw. Thank you very much, Sagewan. In the last DWM, we did Thanos-chan and some other bits. Basically, it was just like a time-lapse of a stream I did a while ago, where we played around with some ideas and started doing up the cards for Mikey the Gathering. It's more of a Twitch thing, really, than anything else, but Mikey the Gathering, those cards are like, I've painted myself into a corner where I wanted to do a thing where people who sub to me on Twitch, which is a slightly different environment, I'd just make these really quick character cards, which would go onto like a standard card template for Mikey the Gathering, a kind of non-existent card game idea that we just have some fun with in the background. And in my head, I was never going to spend more than an hour on every card, and I do one for every sub as the month goes on. Turns out I keep taking more time on them than I should, because I keep wanting to just take the idea a little bit further, and I'm getting more subs than I am getting cards done. That's not a gloat, that's like just a nightmare situation. So those cards are probably going to be like, I'm going to quietly tone it down into something really, really simple. At the moment it's high cal, so if anyone subs in this month, you're getting a good shit, but after that we really need to calm that down, because I'm never going to get any other work done in the background as well. But yeah, it was really nice to get that kind of ting out the way, and Thanos-chan, of course, is my last foray, he says. I'm sure there'll be more, into channing up a character. Sometimes I just can't help it. Anyway, Tony Abraham says, Mikey, can you please do a tutorial on drawing sexy poses for gun users, like dual-wielding pistols in a relaxed and dynamic pose? I hope this request isn't stressful for you. Tony Abraham, it's not stressful, no, don't worry about it. And I've actually had requests. The reason why we did a drawing the fist tutorial is because I've actually had requests for hands holding different objects, including but not limited to guns. And then maybe if I get out of the way, we can also do poses with guns, what's kind of really cool and dynamic. Talk about the old gun carters from Equilibrium. Oh my god! There was a film. Okay. I've got a question for this episode, guys. Oh, by the way as well, I've just remembered another thing. I will do my best to remember to add this on in the rendering, but I will confirm the winner of the tablet giveaway. By the time this video is out, I've probably already said who the winner is on Twitter, which is kind of the whole focus of that whole giveaway from last month. Thank you so much to everybody who's entered. So I'm going to pick them after I've done this. Hopefully stick the audio on the end here, but also it'll be out and online. And why am I saying that? Because I'm probably going to have to make that part of the title of this DWM. We'll probably say like hands warm up plus tablet giveaway winner. What I'm getting at is that another question that we can get in here is that one of the channels I follow is kind of like going to be ideally doing some sort of Kickstarter involving old school action films, which isn't really the focus of what I'm talking about right now. But basically, I've just reminded myself with saying Equilibrium of an absolute classic of an action film, which, you know, wasn't like a AAA title, but I kind of feel gets lost to the annals of time a little bit because it does have a little bit of a Matrixy rip-off vibe in some of its actions, but it has like gun carter and stuff like that, which is kind of where we're going back to cool gun poses and gun techniques. Equilibrium is where it was at for me with those quick gun carter movements and the face slicing spoiler alert bit at the end, which is just so fucking cool, and it has like borderline gun Wing Chun at the very end where they're locking in gun I don't know how to explain it. It's great. It's great. So yeah, guys, what are your like action classics, especially if you're part of the older generation like me? What are your action classics from, say, 80s, 90s, or go as early 2000s, but not much later, that you reckon have flown under the radar? And basically, if you list up some kick-ass films for me, I'm going to just steal them. I'm going to steal all your ideas next week round in the comment section and just add it to my playlist of things to watch over time. So this is the unofficial question. Tell Mikey about some great action films you think have ever so slightly flown under the radar. Another example for me would be The Way of the Gun, with good old Benicio del Toro as well. I'm pretty sure that's right. Yeah, no, it is, because he they punched that really mouthy girl in the beginning. What a film. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Decanius Gaius Publius. Oh, I don't even want to translate what that is. I wonder if that isn't like a great sounding Latin name. Anyway, Decanius. You've got some bounce on your chest. Oh, what did I say that in reference to? Oh yeah, in terms of Thanos-chan. And Wii U Pokemon says, this is instant waifu material. Yeah, it is, when she's got the Infinity Glove, Infinity Gauntlet I should say, and has the power of the space-time, soul, power, heart. I forget what all 5 stones are. What is it? Earth, Wind, Fire, Water and Heart. I think that's how it works, or is that Captain Planet? And Javarius Leary says, dear God, Mikey, what have you done? Thanos is conflicting feelings. Seriously though, nice work. Thank you very much, Averus. Yeah, we're just having a bit of a fun live on stream, channing things up. I think I used as not a template, but as a bit of a guide for the curves of the face for that Thanos-chan. We went for Kenron Toqueen. There we go, another excellent artist whose thick, curvy ladies are just absolutely fantastic. Kenron Toqueen, for those of you curious, as kind of just getting an idea of just that kind of cute smiley face. Pixelmind Gamer says, I've had a long day of drawing, took a break, and for a few moments later, a DWM comes out on a nice day for another practice sketch. Excellent stuff, sir. Recently, I watched KNKL on YouTube to learn about concept art. Besides that, I sketched up an anime girl and really get nervous when I'm starting an art piece. Any tips to help with this? Yeah. By the way, sidetrack, KNKL, excellent YouTuber, absolutely worth watching his shows. Getting nervous when you're starting into a piece, I would say, and this is kind of an answer or an attitude I have about a sketchbook more than artwork in general. But one of the keys to having a sketchbook is to understand that a sketchbook isn't a precious thing. It's very precious to you, obviously. But the point of a sketchbook, or at least Mikey's interpretation of a point of a sketchbook, is that It's both a place to maybe put some final images if you've got some great stuff down, but it's a place to experiment, and the whole idea is to not be scared to make some absolute tripe. Like half a DWM episodes, you'll notice what I have in the background, whether it's digital, air quotes, sketchbook or my actual sketchbook, are sometimes just ideas. Maybe it's me just not drawing something very well because I need to have a go at it and realise that I'm lacking something. So don't be scared to express and experiment into your sketchbook by making sometimes shitty art. That's absolutely part of it. And in a very similar vein, when you kind of feel a bit nervous getting into a sketch piece, tell yourself, okay, what I'm about to sketch right now isn't the final piece. I'm just going to sketch a practice version of what I want to draw, and I know that it's not going to be perfect. When you know that, you know this is just like a draft template. Dive in, experiment where you want, have a look at it, see what does and doesn't work, make it scratchy, loads of lines, dirty paper, I don't care, and then you can kind of come away from that and go, oh, okay, maybe this doesn't work because the eyes are too low, or the nose needs adjusting, or this needs moving over there. Look at other examples and then dive back in. But tell yourself basically you've got a safety net of this being a rough draft, and then you can kind of dive in and actually experiment a bit more, because maybe you're not going to show it to anybody, maybe nobody's going to judge you for it. You can do whatever you want. Or you can start your own version of DWM, where people are going to judge you every week on the absolute crap you feel you sketch to begin with, which is totally fine. Richard Ryan says, hey Mike, draw the Black Mage, Final Fantasy. Richard Ryan, there are a number of Final Fantasy titles which have a Black Mage in it. You have just said Final Fantasy, so maybe you're referring to Final Fantasy 1, in which case the sprites of the Black Mage there aren't really something I can engage with. Are you perhaps, though, talking about one of the most famous of Black Mages? Is it Vivi or BB from Final Fantasy 9? In which case, yeah, I'm up for that. Like, I really like Final Fantasy 9. A little bit underrated and unfortunately hamstrung by the excellent Final Fantasy 10, which had, like, still images from Final Fantasy 10 were released publicly as publicity, I guess, or, like, you know, behind the scenes video game conference stuff, before Final Fantasy 9 had actually come out. So poor Final Fantasy 9 was trying to be so old school and cute and quaint and really bring it back to the 4 party member old school style of Final Fantasy, and everybody was just like, yeah, whatever, when's that fucking amazing looking Final Fantasy 10 coming out on the next gen console? Because Final Fantasy 9 was PS1, Final Fantasy X was early PS2, and we'd all seen this amazing, like, high-res image of a semi-realistic Tidus standing there covered in drops of water, and your juices, this is why I love Final Fantasy titles, by the way, from back to being a kid, your juices just flow so hard when you see, like, a Final Fantasy image, and he had Tidus with a sword that's kind of shaped like a fish hook, and you're like, what are the themes? What are those? Basically, like, oh, I really love that, and that's the exact same kind of juicy feeling as I used to get looking at concept art for Final Fantasy stuff way back in 1997 when Final Fantasy VII kind of came onto the scene in the UK release. Also, side note, Radiohead's OK Computer album came out the very same year. 1997 was a very good year in my book. Anyway, let's keep scrolling down. Oh shit, was 1997 the year that the UK had to give up Hong Kong now and give it back to China? Or am I thinking of something else after 100 years? Shit. Okay, mixed bag. Each year's a mixed bag. Let's default to that. Anywho, Jimbo8472 says, looks great. Sorry if I gave up the creepy stalker vibe. I'm really a great guy when you get to know me. I'll try to make more streams. Jimbo, oh yeah, were you in one of the streams a while back when we were doing the Thanos Chan itself and were you getting really creepy? Don't worry about it, dude. I've had worse, I'm sure. You're always welcome. And Contemplate Tech says, Mikey, you're my hero. Well, Contemplate, that's very, very kind of you. Why? Maybe that was a bit over the top. Oh, don't take it back now. I hate to ask you such a technical question on here, but I can't figure out why Photoshop drags my piece instead of drawing a line, and the press and hold is driving me mad when I try to get into smaller details. Please help. Thanks for being awesome. Hashtag hardcore crew. Let's have a sip of water. I don't have a cup of tea today. Oh my god. Don't tell anybody. Hope be our secret. I'll just pretend I'm drinking tea. Photoshop drags my piece instead of drawing a line. Contemplate Tech. It sounds like you've just got the wrong tool selected. One of the masking area tools in the general selection tool that you get in a Photoshop menu that's usually towards the top will, depending on how your layers are set, default to whatever layer you're clicking on. So say you've got like a picture with a load of stuff in the foreground, a load of stuff in the background, you could be on the foreground layer, but if you click something that isn't on that layer and you end up clicking what's technically in a background, the selection cursor will default to the background layer unless you change the settings, and then if you try to move that around it's fucked. But you really shouldn't be getting that tool if you've got your separate paintbrush tool selected at all times. So contemplate tech, it's not really a question I can answer because I don't fully understand the nature of your concern. I do apologise. Rossman Ultra says, Claire from Claymore, please. I think that's a new trigger for you to drink some tea, bro. P.S. Good luck with moving and such. Rossman, thank you very much. I'm just sending emails to my the solicitor who's selling the house on my mum's behalf because obviously she doesn't care. Which is a mixed bag of polite and slightly expressing how angry I am getting kicked out of my own childhood house. But thank you very much. Claire from Claymore, it is kind of a trigger question. I was actually recently thinking of doing Claire from Claymore in a stream. I actually really want to do it in a stream I'm hopefully going to do tonight. The only reason I haven't started it is because of the whole Mikey the Gathering Cards thing just got a little bit too out of hand, and then we had like a crazy bit of donation from somebody on the stream, and I was like, okay, well, I can't just accept that and move on. I have to actually like do a little bit of work for this person as a thank you. But Claire from Claymore, I want to do it. You guys want to see it, or at least, you know, the 2 or 3 of you that keep messaging me about it, and I'm up for it, and we need to get it out of the way. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. Will I do it today? Today is Wednesday. I'm recording the day of uploading because I've got a little bit of time today. Will we fit that in? I really want to do that, actually. Anyway, that's something for me to mull over whilst we get this all rendered up. Oh, fuck. These videos take so long to render, though. What will I do? Can I move all of my files over to a different device and render in a background? Thinking live. Anyway, Arnie Art says, hey Mikey, hello Arnie, greetings from the Netherlands. Oh dude, how you doing? How was King's Day at the end of last month? Did you have a good one? And the Boxman Poopman says, are you shad based now? Boxman Poop. I ain't no shad. Shadbase is a very, very talented ecchi and hentai artist who most of you guys have probably heard of. He's happy to kind of do stuff that I personally steer away from, and I'm not judging, but he will do like loads of like real deep hentai and lolly artwork, and I'm a little bit more about ecchi's absolutely fine, throw in the odd nipple to keep things interesting, but I want my art to be accessible, or at least my tutorials to be accessible and family safe for everybody, so which is why I don't lean too far down that road. But comparing me to Shad, merci beaucoup. Shad's usually quite good on his streams as well, actually. Seabass says, please draw Toka. I love her. Touka. I don't know off the top of my head who that is, but I dare say it's probably a character. I'm just having a look on another tab that's been suggested before. Toka Kirishima from Tokyo Ghoul. Yeah, she has been suggested before. She's on the list. Don't you worry. I am just gonna add that back into the favourite. Oh, for fuck's sakes. So, a side story, just whilst I make something happen over here, is Windows just updated massively the other night whilst I was trying to do a stream, because it just waits till I'm actually trying to use the computer, because it's basically an arsehole. And it's just, lost loads of settings. Wait a minute. Done it. Okay, great. Like I say, this is not the professional show or series. It's just me faffing about reading your comments, and I don't edit out any of this crap. So if you get all this dead air time, like me just sipping this gunky fruit blend I've got over here. That was thicker than I expected. Deal with it, basically. Although, I was talking to somebody on the stream, and we're talking about pet hates. And it's this. I do apologise, but I'm going to do it on purpose. It's this noise. How gross is that? It's when you like get the sound effect of like the lip smacking of somebody eating. If I see somebody eating on camera and I can hear it, it's just like, no thanks. But you know, stay tuned for Mega ASMR or whatever we'll do. Anyway, Tori Graham says, hashtag hardcore crew, I saw this stream and I love the skull armor. Thank you very much, Tori. That was one of the Mikey the Gathering cards we're doing for a subscriber. You should do a video on what you need to do to make a living with art, watching Meow Friday. So after you read this, MAIW Friday, I don't know what that stands for. Is that another YouTuber? Is that a thing? It's not made. Anyway, I honestly don't know. Who's Meow? MAIW, I'm curious. What do you need to do to make a living of art? Tori Graham, I'm not necessarily the best person to ask about that, because my own passion for art, my journey, is hopefully taking me to a point where I can kind of live off the kind of YouTube side of it and the Patreon side and other sort of bits in your commission. Currently closed. So maybe that's not the smartest way. Other people want to work for companies or just do loads of commissions. That's not really something that suits me personally too well. And I think I've rambled on about this before last week when I was kind of highlighting a little bit about the pressures of working for a publisher if you're actually like a mangaka and you have to actually hit a weekly deadline, and how it actually kills your life. So I don't quite want to go down that road. But I am kind of going down that road in my own version of it. So if I kind of find that stably works out, and this is the exciting year for me, I keep talking about this, more updates once I probably move house, then yeah, I'll probably sort of say, this is how I've done it, if, touch wood, I manage to do it at all. Bear in mind, this guy's still working. Eric Off says, I like. Well, thank you very much, Eric. And Crestfallen J says, Kratos Chan next? No, Crestfallen, I can't keep following all these popular topics. I can't keep up to date. And people are telling me that that new God of War game is absolutely fucking amazing and definitely worth a go, so I don't want to spoil it. Jeff E says, this puts a smile on my face. Good, Jeff. If that's all I achieve in any of the videos, that's good enough for me. And Panda Star says, can you do a how to draw female mecha suits? Oh my god, Panda Star. Sorry to keep mentioning Twitch all the time, but I really quite like it. Last night on the stream, one of the Mikey the Gathering cards, some of the keywords were Kitsune, Maiden, and Mecha. So I did like this really quick rough drawing where it was like a seven-tailed, seven-railed gunned mecha suit, and it was just an absolute nightmare. So I do need some mech practice. There's some, oh my god, where's my phone? Bear with me a minute. I'm just having a quick look for my phone because there's somebody I follow on, oh no, I'm back already. There's somebody I follow on Twitter who's an incredible mech artist, and they do these beautiful Gundam watercolor pieces, like really something. I'm just going to see if I can find them really quickly. I bet I can't, because whenever I try to use a phone to get a quick answer for you, I just spend about 10 minutes scrolling with nothing useful coming up. It's kind of dependent on them having just recently tweeted some more of her artwork. Quick scroll. Ah, no, it's not popping up. Ask me again, somebody, sometime, about that mech artist I follow on Twitter. Still scrolling, and just about to give up. God damn it. Wow, there's loads of... oh, fuck. Sorry, that's loads of stuff coming up on my feed. Oh, I really want to find that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just really quickly type in Gundam watercolor artist, just to make sure I can't get a Google hit. I think I've got a Google hit already. On the Google. Yeah, this is them. Trueneck. Okay, this is who I recommend to have a look at. Google up Trueneck. Trunnec. Just really fucking beautiful Gundam paintings. They're just so nice, and they're so watercolory as well. I'd never think those two mediums would work, but this guy is so... it's so nice. Hector Trueneck. Okay, brilliant. I'm so glad we found that, because now I've got that all open on a tab, which I'm also going to just save for myself. I used to have like a favourites thing, and now I've got a Control D, moaning about Windows updates in the background. Anyway, guys, Gravefight23 says, very nice drawings, Mikey. Thank you very much, Gravefight. Greetings from a sunny and already hot Southern California. Oh, dude, really having a nice time out there, California. We had a little bit of sun a couple of weeks ago. Now it's raining again, so it's a little bit on and off, but we are slowly getting into summer at this end as well. I hope life over there is treating you very well. Narian TX says, I'm in love with Chanos. Wait, I'm in love with Thanos Chan. Oh, you said Chanos fan. I like Marvel a lot, but their hype train can be exhausting. Yeah, it's a mixed bag with that, because I kind of get a little bit, I wouldn't say tired about all the Marvel movies, but they are a little bit formulaic. Which is kind of fine, and the fact that I'm really invested in the characters is what really kind of hypes me up. But yeah, there are a lot of them, and it's kind of just like, oh, sometimes I think I get so used to Marvel movies, and I watch them so much. I do actually like watch Marvel films an awful lot as like a default if I've got time to kill, which I don't. And I wonder if I watch Marvel movies so much that I'm overrating the worth of Marvel movies in terms of general cinema. Because I'll talk about how great Winter Soldier is because it tests for values of Captain America. Or I'll talk about how great Civil War is because you get this moment where Tony Stark sees these values in Spider-Man but realises within himself those are the same values that Captain America holds, which endears him to both of them. And I think that's great storytelling and great character moments in cinema. And then I kind of come out of that a little bit and I'll just watch like a genuine great film like 12 Angry Men, where I'm just like, oh fuck, this is a really good piece of cinema. This is a really important camera piece, does really important movements of the camera, a really great way of explaining out a story and a conflict within like a confines of a single room. That's what an example of great cinema is. And then I think, am I just hyping up Marvel because I watch Marvel a lot? And I'm kind of like forgetting that actually there's a bit of a wider world out there. I really don't know because I am a bit of a Marvel fanboy, but not blindly because well, basically, I won't go into it, but I don't think I like Black Panther half as much as a lot of people like Black Panther, which we discussed a little bit in the Avengers Infinity War spoiler podcast discussion on Film Cram, the other channel. For any of you guys who are curious, go follow a link somewhere on the front of my channel to Film Cram. Anywho, hashtag Hardcore Crew, hashtag sip of coffee. Narian TX. I'm just going to drink what is definitely not a bottle of water. That's just the lid to my mug of tea. Lovely. So delicious and warm. Not at all straight from the tap. Demi Viral says, Mikey, don't delete the artwork. Just throw it into your scraps folder on DeviantArt. That's a great spot to put style studies and old art, in my opinion. Oh, right. Demi, nice one. I did mention last week, in a nutshell, that I've got some really old pictures on DeviantArt. A lot of them are rake studies, which are labelled as such, but it can kind of look like, now that I have, and trust me, I know I'm just like some random guy and I'm like a speck in terms of the internet and YouTubing, and I don't think any more of that. It's absolutely fine, but I am like also searched a little bit more on Google and stuff for people who want to follow my art and my tutorials, and it does kind of worry me that people would search for me, get a load of Google images up, and it's me just doing rake studies from DeviantArt search results, and it might just look like I'm trying to pass it off as my own. And if you click on it, you'll see that I'm quite clear about what it is. But if you don't click on it, you might make an assumption. So I was saying basically, maybe, oh bloody hell, maybe I should delete them. However, you're telling me that I can put them into draft folders and all sorts of stuff. I really haven't used DeviantArt in so long. I didn't know that it even had those options. Although it makes sense that they'd probably do something good like that. Thank you, Demi. I'm going to, excuse me, I'm just having a burp first. Oh, gross. I'm just going to copy what you've just said. Lovely, to remind myself. Excellent. Natsuke-kan? Or something like that? Is that supposed to be kun or kan? I think I'm reading this right. Natsuke-kan just kind of does this kind of love heart emoji thing. Thank you very much. And Smit says, one question, Mikey. Do you like to wear ties? And if you do you wear classic or crazy ones? Smit. I do like the odd tie. Every now and then we'll put on a suit and go to somebody's wedding, or like, you know, have a really important interview somewhere. So yeah, it's tie time, and I don't wear crazy ties. I have worn a few pattern ties and some simple ties. It depends on the combination of the shirt, depends on the cut, if you're going to wear a suit or if it's just a casual, and what time of year it is and what kind of presentation it is. There's a whole load of options, but you'll never see me in a piano key tie or anything like that. And I do, other than the odd occasion, I do try to avoid skinny ties, although we need like half ties, which are halfway between normal ties and skinny ties, and that would probably work out for me. But again, I'm a little bit out of date. Skinny ties probably stopped happening about 5 years ago. FX Caliber 2514, and by the way, Smith, do you wear a tie? Why do you care? I mean, it's fine, but I'm just curious. FX Caliber 2514 says, great artwork as always, man. Thank you very much, dude. If you're a beginner like me, you should think about getting going digital work. Wait, what are you saying? If you're a newbie like me, you should think about getting going on digital work by doing the basics on pen or paper. I'm bogged down by work at school as well as not having a lot of time to practice regularly. By the way, I suggest Bullet from BlazBlue or Ram from Guilty Gear if you want the best dark-skinned waifus out there. Lols, thanks man for tutorials, and always a pleasure to get those tutorials out of the way if I actually, you know, get off my ass and sort one. I would say, I think I understand your question. If you're a bit of a beginner, don't wait for anything digital. If you're thinking I'll need a tablet one day, I don't care. That's fine, but don't wait. Start drawing right now. Grab a paper, grab a pen, whatever, don't let anything hold you back. I'd use shitty pencils and printer paper in loads of my stuff just to kind of prove a point that you don't need great materials, you just need the desire to start drawing. And the more you draw, the better you get. It's the simple answer, but it's absolutely true. So keep it up, keep doing it. Now I'm opening a new tab. Why? Oh yeah, that's it. I'm just copying and saving your suggestions as well for those characters. Thank you. Lovely. And back we go to your comments. Yori Bremner says, Liluch from Code Geese. Nah, if you want to draw a character from that series, do Violetta. I see a lot of discussions on who is the best female character, Cece or Callan. Well, screw 'em. Violetta or Millie are a lot better. Yori. I'm going to also copy and save that one. Thank you, dude. How you doing, man? JC Sensation says, Glancy-chan can end half of all life with those titties. Yes, they can. And Kat Munro Superhero says, it's always awesome to watch you draw. I actually have learnt to describe my characters better in writing. Nice one. Oh my god, that... all these, well, some of these topics we've mulled over before, but good writing behind a character is so fucking important in my book. I still illustrate them for my own reference. I just like to see if I can describe them well enough to convey what I see to another artist. I'd love to see you draw one if you ever wanted to. It's a pleasure to watch you. Kat Munro Superhero, thank you so much. That's very, very kind. My art, your design is the answer to that. The Made series. Which is this semi-mythical thing I once mentioned and maybe started and never really got back to, but I'm not going to expand on it too much, other than to say I do want to draw characters based on other people's designs, and we will kind of kick that back into gear at some point. Oh my god, and I've just said I wanted to do the Claire from Claymore piece, but we need to do my art, your design as well. Kind of watch this space, stroke don't watch this space. Anyway, Hamong Chi Lee says, where's that notification squad at? Thank you very much, dude, for getting in nice and early on the DWM episodes. And you also asked, hey Mikey, what did you think of Infinity War? In a nutshell, two-part answer. Part one, like I've mentioned, is go over to Film Cram, dude. If you've seen it and you don't mind spoilers, it's like 2.5 hours of me and my mate Ken talking exactly what we thought about that film, straight out of the cinema. In a very general sense, I really liked it. I think they did really well because there's so many characters and so many things to get done. I think they did really, really well to simply not make that movie a complete clusterfuck. You know what, there's not much I can say without going into spoilers, and normally this is a spoiler zone, this DWM series, but Infinity War is a bit of a big deal to a lot of people and it's still fairly fresh at the cinema, so I won't go into details this week, but if somebody asked me next week, I probably would go into details just to play it safe. I don't want to screw people over. Natsu Dragneel says, hey Mikey, how are you? Natsu, thank you very much for working. I am fine today, in general, like I keep saying. It's a bit of a volatile few months, which isn't amazing, but day to day I can't really complain. Thank you. How are you doing? And I didn't tell you that you sound tired. Oh, didn't I tell you that you sound tired? Yeah, I always do. What's going on in your life? Did you change your house? Mikey, quick question. I already asked 3 questions, silly me, but what happened to your Dojin? Did you finish it or did you forget it? And did you watch Attack on Titan Season 3 teaser trailer? Oh my god. I haven't watched Attack on Titan Season 3 because I haven't sat down to watch Season 2 because I kind of fell out in love with the comics, but equally, about 3 months ago, all you guys were saying, get back into it, and the comics do kick off. So I went to the point where, spoiler alert, we reach the part of the Eren sacrifice in the cave, and the old family that were really running things, and like the will of the old king about not stopping all of the titans and what the fuck's going on there. So that's kind of vaguely where I'm up to there. So I kind of need to keep reading on from that, because that is, to be fair, you're right, getting a bit juicy again. Dojin, I didn't finish it, and I kind of semi-forgot it, but I do need to do more back on that. Oh, fuck that Dojin. Always a thing. Why do I start projects instead of finishing projects? And I haven't changed my house yet. It won't be for another month, I'm sure. So get ready for about 4 or 5 solid weeks of me moaning about that until it's actually done. And yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, much like the way that you'll find my sketchbook, sometimes there'll be something juicy in there, sometimes it's full of crap. Very much of the DWMs. Bear in mind, like, I've got no professional radio presence, so sometimes I'm just having a long day, sometimes I'm tired, and yeah, that might sound through. Today I'm doing the recording in the afternoon, so I'm awake. I did record last week's first thing in the morning, so I was just tired and grumpy from the fact that I just woken up, basically. So you kind of notice in the DWMs, especially the ones that I record really early in the morning, I might be like really low energy and just really tired and life's getting me down. But I get a little bit hyped up as I read through all of your questions and comments, and by the end of the hour I'm just like, yeah, thanks a lot for popping along everybody, have a great day, and all that sort of stuff. So it is always swings and roundabouts. I'm of a mindset, and this isn't a good idea if you want to have like a YouTube career, but I'm of a mindset that I can't force it and fake it. I mean, I could pretend to be happier, and I'm not saying I'm unhappy or anything like that, but I could pretend to like put on this persona. But if you don't really feel it, that's actually going to take up energy, it's going to weigh you down, and you're not going to be able to keep up making videos every week if that's kind of, if you're forcing it, basically. I already do stuff that I don't necessarily care about in a day job, so I'm not going to go around and do the same in my hobbies. I'm going to keep it real, but also, yeah, and from time to time it's ups and downs. I think you kind of understand what I'm getting at, guys, but let me just say it's a pleasure being real with you, and that's the whole point of a DWM. It's not for professional tutorials, it's not like a proper fan art. This is a super casual sit down, so I'm not going to put on any fake airs here. Twisted Faye says, hey Mikey. Hello Twisted Faye. I've always wanted to ask you, what exactly goes into the business side of being an artist? Like, are there different licenses and such? I personally have looked into my state, but the information is really scattered here for artists. Oh, and please keep up the good work. Your art is amazing. Thank you very much, Twisted Faye. Well, over here in the UK, I'm a third stage artist. So I'm part of a troisième étage, which is like a special setting you have to reach through. You get all these interviews and meetings, and basically you need to get like all of your prints and works approved by the art governor, which is like this big HQ in London, and all of that is a massive lie. Dude, if you want to get into art and be an artist, just do the artwork. Sure, you can take illustration courses, you could take a diploma, you could take a bachelor's in art or illustration, fine art, design. You can do all sorts of study courses to get you qualifications. Some people teach themselves and go straight into the industry and put their focus on practical work. But it's not like, say, if you want to be an architect, you need to be approved by the RIBA over here, the Royal Institute of British Architects. You need to read the thing. So that's like undergraduate, diploma, work time, and then you do have a portfolio, because at the end of the day you're designing buildings, and if you design one that falls on people and kills them, there's going to be a lot of trouble. So you do need certain standards and understanding of building construction, as well as a whole load of other things involving like the social side of architecture. So governed, brilliant. If you want to be an artist and say that you've got a degree in art, then you better make sure you've actually got a degree in art. But you don't have to say, like, if I said I'm an artist, nobody's going to turn around to me and say, prove it, where's your artist card? You can just do what you want. That's kind of the fun of illustration. You can very smoothly, well, how to put it? There's a very blurred line between making something like this your hobby and making it your profession, earning a little bit of money on the side from art, and then realizing you're earning enough to live on. You do have to do things if you end up working for yourself involving tax and stuff like that, so you need to make sure that's all out of the way. But no, you just kind of dive in and find what you want to find. It really depends what you want to do with your art. It's such an open-ended question. I know people say this all the time, but if you want to get working with your art, maybe you want to focus on industry experience. If you want to be the best artist you can, you might find, and everybody learns differently, there's no one right answer, tra-la-la-la-la, you might find that like taking an advanced art course or really getting into different mediums and materials is for you. There's so much to explore with that kind of thing. So I don't think there's one set answer, Twisted Faye. 5 years of study past the exam in the UK. Undead Rose says, well, this helped me draw a Heather Chandler. Thanks for giving me something to listen to whilst drawing a present. A Heather Chandler? Heather Chandelier? Undead Rose, I don't know what it is. A Heather Chandler. I'm just going to put that. I don't know if you've misspelt it or I've just never heard of whatever fantastic thing you're talking about. So I'm just going to give that a Google search. Oh, Heather Chandler is a fictional character. Heather's the Death of Heather Chandler from a musical? What am I looking at? Portrayed by Kim Walker, the first female antagonist of the cult classic film Heathers. She's the deceased leader of the most popular and powerful clique at Westburg High. Heather Chandler's colour is red, symbolising her power over not only the other students. Nickname Alpha Bitch and Piranha, Heather #1. Brilliant. Okay, that's great. I'm just going to leave that open for later investigation. Thank you. That looks like the kind of generation of film and TV but wants to like reminds me I need to go back and rewatch Buffy the Vampire Slayer and stuff like that. One day when I retire, so many plans, like when everything's done and the world can't hurt me and all that sort of thing, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to just watch loads of Buffy and then just go through like loads of other really old shows. Nori says Deku or All Might from Boku no Hero. Both great suggestions, both already down on the list. Thank you very much, Nori. And Captain CKMLG says the likes on this video are 420, so I'll leave it be. Captain, you got to be representing, of course. Which of course I don't get engaged with because that's not legal in the UK, so I would never do something as silly as that. But you know, sometimes you go on holidays to other countries with different laws and you know, you have to when in Rome, right? Jed says some suggestions for free video editing programs for those who are asking. DaVinci Resolve and Blender. Yes, the 3D program itself has really good video editing. Jed, I had no idea. As mentioned, I tend to use Vegas Pro and Windows Movie Maker. There we go for the time lapsing. Cybersecond says, how about knitting and a bit of sketching? Hashtag Hardcore Crew. And Lexus Arf says, hi Mikey. Hello Lexus. And Stockleberry also says, nice. Thank you very much. Culture Tyrant 95. I love the Marvel movies and comics. For me, I'll see it on a Friday on the 27th. I've heard that they might kill off some of the characters. I really like Thor. I hope he lives. Really like your work. Keep it up, good sir. Culture Tyrant, I'm assuming you've seen it by now. What do you think about what does or does not happen to some or some not of the characters? Spoiler safe. Huazi says, what the fuck? I'm assuming in relation to Thanos-chan. And Gus Show and Maker says, Mikey, I'm trying to invent a card game of anime characters, but I can't come up with any theme. Do you have any tips, pal? I do, Gus. It's called Mikey the Gathering, and it's my idea, and you can't take it. All mine. Top trumps, bit of anime characters, whatever you want. Gus, I honestly don't know. In terms of the card game style, because I've been playing a little bit of Gwent in The Witcher 3, I really still don't understand the rules for Gwent that well. If I get Gwent correctly, it's actually a really shit card game. You just need more points than another character, and it literally boils down to which cards you lay and which cards whose counters might get nullified, and it doesn't appear to be much else to it. And you kind of have to just stop playing to save your cards for the next round. So if you just stop, the opponent can still put down more cards and win. I really don't... fuck it, I don't get Gwent. I don't get Gwent, everybody, and it frustrates me. Anyway, what I'm getting at is the one card game I did understand was the card game from Final Fantasy VIII. That was nice and simple. That card I could play. What was it called? Flip card? Oh fuck, what's the card game called in Final Fantasy VIII? Anyway, that's what I'd suggest, Gus. Go for that one. DY Pirate says, what up, Mikey? Not much, DY. How you doing? And Meme God says, you actually turned Thanos into a girl. Yes, I actually do. Such is the power of the Reality Stone. Helmet says, Ang with eagle eyebrows. Hashtag Hardcore Crew. Hashtag Civility. Ang from Bender, of course, I'm sure you're talking about. And Pepper says, hey, Mikey. Hello, Pepper. I haven't been here long, but I love everything you do. Oh, thank you very much. You're very, very good. I can only hope. Would you do Gwenpool sometime in the future? Gwenpool? Is that a Gwen Spider-Girl Deadpool thing? Gwenpool? Oh no, she's a completely different character. Oh, she does look a bit Deadpool-y. A fictional character who appears in the American comic books published by Marvel. She's an amalgam of Gwen Stacy and Deadpool. Yeah, I'm gonna just favourite that. Oh my fucking... Sorry, I know I've been bitching about this every time, but that Windows Update, now I just don't have a favourites button. Control D it like a mug. I want a star icon. I know I can put it back. In fact, let's do this now. Oh, why are you just... No, where's the options? Ah, I fucked it up. Ah, fuck it, I'll come back to it later. Now's not the right time. Opposites Weeb says, could you do a tutorial on male and female anatomy? I know how to apply the basics, but I also have trouble with the torso, head shape, and shoulder differences between male and female. Lots of love and wishing you luck. Thank you very much, Opposites Weeb. Yeah. I think I've done a vague comparison before, but we'll do more in the future. If I had to boil it down right now, I'd say when you build up the female form, unless they're like a really strong-shouldered fighter character or something like that, you tend to be using lots of oblongs and ovals and curves to build everything together. And when you do it for a male character, you're going to use harder straight edges and straight lines. Also, you might not tuck that hip ratio to waste ratio in quite as far. But I know what you're saying. We do need to dive in more in the future. Gregory90 says, hey Mikey. Hello Gregory. I was working on a game for Throne and Tokyo Ghoul art piece, and your film cram videos helped me with that. Oh, awesome, dude. They're being published in my college magazine. Oh, dude, that's awesome. You know, a published artist. Excellent work. The box office artist did an interview with Sakimi-chan and Art Germ. Here are some quick answers to your questions. I shorten them as best I can. I need to, firstly, save your box office thing, because I need to watch an interview with Sakimi-chan and Art Germ. They both sound like things I need to learn about. I did mention I don't know much about Sakimi-chan other than her artwork itself. Art Gem, of course, I've heard off a bit more. So, DWM81, you say. The Amazing World of Gumball is a British cartoon about a blue cat called Gumball and his goldfish brother Darwin going on adventures. There's also a fan-made anime of it. When Ghost Stories was dubbed in English, they were given free reign. Oh, we've talked about Ghost Stories. Yeah. I love how you're answering really old DWM questions. Thank you, I appreciate it. DWM83, you said Bayonetta is for the PlayStation 3. The sequels are for the Wii U and the Switch. What? So I can't get the latest Bayonetta titles on my PS4? I might still grab the PS3 version, no, why not? And did you watch The Walking Dead Season 8? I did not. I have not watched The Walking Dead since, spoiler alert, you have been warned, but you should know this. I stopped watching The Walking Dead in whatever first half of Season 7 is. So there's the horrible bit where everybody gets a baseball bat to the forehead. And then I lasted a few more episodes and I was like, that's made me really sad. I can't watch this right now. And I haven't gone back to it. I do intend to watch it, but again, I just haven't found the time. But I have recently grabbed some copies of The Walking Dead, I should say, to actually dive back into as well. Did you watch... Oh wait, good luck with your housing arrangements. Thank you very much. I've realised I've moaned about that maybe a little bit too much and a little bit too prematurely, because I'm getting some really kind well-wishing from you guys, but I'm going to be moaning about it until it actually happens, all for the rest of this summer, just because it's a fuck-up, but thank you. And I'm excited about Infinity War and Deadpool 2. I want to read the comic right now, and I think it's called Infinity Gauntlet. Nice work as always. Oh yeah, Infinity Gauntlet. So I was talking about, I'm assuming the comic that's set after the long after Thanos has basically defeated everybody, because remember in the comics he wants to destroy all life. He's not doing it for the same reasons in the film. And it's this really fucking great little short series of comics. It might be maybe 5 or 6 issues, I think, with Thanos just destroying the very last elements of life, including this epic battle with the Silver Surfer, with like Thor's hammer, with Mjolnir. Oh, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. Gregory, thank you very much for answering all these separate questions. I'm just going to copy the whole World of Gumball bit as well for later investigation into this tab over here. Just like so. Yes. Cubby broccoli. No, don't do my own stunts. Can anyone guess who I've just tried to make? No, don't worry about it. JV500OMC says, another lovely Chan, Mikey. Here's a question for you. Okay. I'm trying to get into drawing, but I also heard a couple of times that starting age at 19 is too late to make a career out of it. Do you believe this to be true? JV5000. Where the fuck did you hear that bullshit? Clear your mind of such nonsense. That's absolute PS. I'm 33. I started YouTubing when I was 30 or 29. Have I been doing this for 3 or 4 years? I'm not sure. Basically, no. That's not too fucking late. If I've just started doing it, don't worry about it. Martin Jamal says hi. Hello, Martin. And Dr. Hook says, what's up, Mikey boy? Love ya. Love your art. Love your beard. Also, prom is this Saturday, April 28th. I've got a date. Oh, good. I thought you were just about to ask me out. How is your prom, and did you have one? And also, have a great rest of your day. Dr. Hook. Wow, yeah. We had proms ages ago. I'm trying to think. Oh, my God. Oh, my prom was a mixed bag. We got really drunk with my mate, and then I think my prom date ended up pulling somebody else, and I was just like, oh, torment. And then at the end of that night, my prom date didn't want to hang out with that guy, and then she stayed with our lot, and she came back with me, like we went to mate's house, and I remember just being like really upset, because I was like, you pulled someone else. What the fuck are you doing here now? Like, broke my heart. What was I going to say? But I hope you had a... Wow, I just remembered stuff from so long ago. Don't worry, I'm over it. Like, she's got kids with somebody now, and she looks a bit tired and withered. So I hate sounding so shallow, but basically, like, you know, I saw it a while ago and I was like, it's okay, it's not such a big deal after all. But I hope your problem is a little bit better, dude. Wow, memory time. Stephen Cabrera says, started a video, started drawing on my tablet to practice, got lost in the source, and then Mikey says, have I got time for one more comment? Read more. Freaks out because I've been drawing for an hour and haven't got much done. Yeah, that's usually like the warning time where I start panic reading through a few bits at the end. And Kawan on the plane says, hey, it's been a while since I wrote something in your comment section. Well, welcome back then, good sir. Also, I enjoyed your streams recently. Oh, also, double thank you then for popping in. And I just want to say, keep up the good work, and you've been helping me with my cyberpunk comic I'm working on for quite some time now. Anyway, have a good day, good sir, and go drink a sip of coffee or tea. Coffee or tea. Or water, did you say? Delicious, untasty fluid. Ringmar says, oh, Ringnear says, hi Mikey, hello Ringnear. This is my first time commenting, so yeah, okay, awesome, hi. I just wanted to say your art is amazing and you're a huge inspiration to, oh, thank you very much, dude. Also, one thing I think someone was mentioning was Walking Melon AAA. She's a YouTuber with a very impressive painting style. I highly recommend checking her out. Her paintings are magnifique. Okay, Control C. Just going to open up a new YouTube tab really quickly and give them a cheeky search. Oh god, I've done that wrong. I've still got the World of Gumball. Okay, let me just go back and try that one more time. Walking Melon AAA. Much better. Lovely, thank you very much. Art, animatics, animations, tutorials, and all of the nerdiest things. Subscribe. And let's go to the channel itself. Oh my god! Oh wow, some of her speed paints are fucking amazing. Night in the Woods, Nico, Cuphead and Mugman. Oh, great suggestion. Great, I'm going to be snooping all up in this YouTuber's channel. I've never heard of them before. And now I feel really, they're so good. Thank you very much. I love stealing your suggestions, guys. That's fantastic. Stephen Mills says, anyway, thank you very much, I should say, Rignair, because you've actually got a read more section. Other than that, I'm done. Hashtag hardcore crew. Thank you very much, dude. You are hardcore crew. P.S. Stay awesome. Oh, that's really kind of you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. That's great. Stephen Mills says, sitting by a river in Ireland, sketching the sun and listening to the soothing sounds of Mikey. Thanks for all of the inspiration. 10 out of 10 would buy a Mikey box. Stephen Mills, Mikey box, through your door once a month. An exciting combination of Mikey-themed relatable goodies. Warning, no refunds. May cause hepatitis. That's fantastic. Mikey box, we'll do it soon. I'll do a Kickstarter. It's a lock of Mikey's hair. Why do I have this? And you're in Ireland. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, dude. I wish you all the best. I'm kidding. I fucking love Ireland. Oh, especially right over the west, where like you've got areas like Knock, where it's just so beautiful, where it meets up near the sea and all the inlets. Beautiful land, beautiful land. The state of Ireland, though. Anyway, Bolo Bolito says, super genial, saludos desde Colombia. Bolo Bolito, how you doing? Saludos desde England. Always a pleasure to have you in. And Essay Noctis Tsukinomi says, I'm a person who really enjoys and loves your artwork. I've been improving because of you, and I'd really love to know how you do drawing on PC and make them as good as your drawings, or how to do drawing on PC and make them as good. Sao Noctis, thank you so much. Of course, that's a really kind thing to say. I do appreciate that. All I can say is start off. I mean, bear in mind, like, other people are going to do better tutorials about PC art. Most of my tutorials are pencil based, but I have done a few about the basics of what I do on a computer. I've got tutorials about scanning in your pencil artwork, separating your line art onto its own layers, and then the steps I go through the colouring process. So do have a look in my tutorials playlist. You might find some use out of it, but I do appreciate some of them are a little bit old, because I kind of know what I'm doing with pencil, so I can make a video and be happy with it. With the digital art, I'm still evolving a little bit, so sometimes I'll do something as a bit of a digital tutorial, and then I'll look back on it and think, that needs updating to be a little bit fresher. Maxim Game says, hi Mikey, love your vids, keep it up. Oh, you guys are all too kind, thank you. And hey, could you consider making a video about the side view? I have a really hard problem with nose and eye placements, and honestly in general, so I would appreciate it, or if you haven't, I've missed it, could you point me to it? Thank you so much. Yes, Maxim Games. I've done 3 separate videos, I think, on how to draw a face from different angles. 4 now. I've done a mapping the face tutorial from slightly more difficult angles, and I've done 2 videos on a female face from front, 3/4 angles and sides, and another very similar one on a male. old school style anime face as well. So have a look up in those tutorials. Hopefully you might find something of use. Plus Ultra says, sweet, first time I commented and I got it read. Keep up the awesome work. Plus Ultra, you're luckier than you know. And Manga Mark says, Thanos is so cute, but Mikey, can you make a fan art of Toka Kirishima from Tokyo Ghoul? Manga Mark's just like in the very beginning of today's episode of DWM. She's on the list. Don't you worry. Hashtag eventually. Daniel Andreanato says, Mikey, please do a tutorial on how to draw shoes. But Daniel, I hate drawing shoes and I hate drawing feet. But yeah, you're absolutely right. That's a great suggestion. So we're going to, as much as I don't want to, we are going to save your suggestion because I haven't actually got shoes on my to-do list. Louise E says, keep it up. Thank you very much. I will, good sir. I do appreciate all these tiny little nice comments as well. They all really just filled up. Darth Dro says, hey Mikey. Hello Darth. Great work as always. You're too kind. Your vids have inspired me. I feel really guilty now because in the background of this episode it's me doing that hands warm up. So I'm just investigating the pens and they're all derpy hands. They're not the best work. They're not that structurally sound. I'm just kind of was warming up before I then worked onto something else. Just to reiterate, thus is the point of the sketchbook. You don't have to make it perfect, but you do need to use it. Anyway, what were you saying? I have an iPad Air 2 and I'm looking at the Adonit Pixel for a stylus. Bear with me a minute. Ooh, another burp. I do apologise, I'm gross. What are your thoughts? Thanks and best wishes on the house situation. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I don't know. I got approached by Adonit and then separately approached by a marketing group working for them, wondering if I wanted to do some reviews on their styluses, and I had to turn them down sadly, because I don't actually use a drawing tablet. I use like the tablets that go over PC, the touchscreen stuff, sure, but they don't require like a separate stylus. I couldn't really think about doing one on my phone. I have got a tablet that I'm using right now for a review that's coming up. I probably mentioned this last week, but that was a different tablet for a different thing altogether. So I just don't know about them stylus pens. Everything I've seen seems to think they're really good. I think who was I talking to online? Oh god, was it Artgerm or somebody else? Somebody was live on Twitch and they've got the Apple pen or the Apple Air pen or whatever it's called, and that apparently is actually better than any of the third-party styluses you can get, but apparently that pen costs about $100 and apparently you have to charge it or something. So swings and roundabouts. I appreciate the Adonit's range is probably about half to a third of the price, but I don't know, it's not my area of expertise, dude, so I don't want to throw you any false info. Boston Frode Reed or Fraud Reed says, brilliant as always Mikey. Thank you. Still gonna hoard you about the Guy the Dark Hero and doing Guyver in your own art style. That's absolutely fine. I'm gonna hoard, you say? Hassle? I'm still going to just control C that. I've got to stop giving myself these little tasks to do because they actually hold me back in the long run from just trying loads of random stuff. Anyway, let's continue on and grab just a cheeky quick couple of comments. We've just got a moment's time. Okay, Ricky Segundo says, leave it to Mikey to turn a muscular horror into an adorable little fat girl. She's thick, Ricky. She's not fat, but yeah. Thanos is like possibly a horrible destroyer. In the comics, yes. In the films, creepily understandable. I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but I'm not Nazi, but you can kind of understand where he's coming from. Redor Dragon. Oh, Red Dragon, Issei, says it's... So I was reading your name in Japanese. So Redor Dragon. Thank you very much. You say it's so cute. And Bruce, who has the excellent icon of... oh fuck, what's it called? Catcher in the Rye. I thought what I would do is I pretend to be one of those deaf mutes. But it's a Catcher in the Rye character from Ghost in the Shell, the standalone complex, the first season. Is it the Laughing Man complex? No. Yeah, Laughing Man complex. Excellent. Basically, I'm just saying I recognise your icon. I love it. And you say, I will call her Fan-chan. Excellent. That's really nice. And I guess we might as well just wrap up on that. So remember, guys, probably after the outro, hopefully I will remember to, and I do apologise if I don't, because I won't do it literally right now. Hopefully I've added in a winner to the tablet giveaway. Just have a look on Twitter to see who the winner is there, because I've probably announced it by the time this video is up. And as ever, the secret question is basically just tell me about some great action titles you think flew under the radar. I want to make sure I've got them logged for future use. And of course, if you've got anything to say, want to add anything into the comments, simply do so. If I've missed what you've said this week, paste it into next week and hopefully we'll catch up. Or if you've got anything else or questions you want to talk about, nothing's off limits here. It's all good in my book. It's a safe place. But let me stop for a quick moment and say a great big thank you to the delicious patrons on Patreon to make all of this possible, help me feed myself, help me get these videos out there, and that is Jens W, Rob, Matthew G, Mykeru M, Zexo, Drain, Sebastian S, Hugsy, Madcat1381. I'm just going to stop to have a quick sip of definitely not water. Chewed In, Jigsaw Studios, Rider 2KX, For Clamps, Joe R, Kyrie Art, Recreate, Garrett C, Michael S, Trent H, Adam D, Jorgen A, Wes B, Carlos R, Connor M, Raymond B, Julio Felix O, John Hall V, Azex, Simon B, Taylor S, Artorius 777, Live on Kill, Icy Dotori, Yendrick H, Rory A, Homongchi L, Thomas C, Angry H, Johnny Y, Ollie, Brownie Wars, Garrett, Cogleaf, Christian L, Minion 715, ICZ, Nbag, Adam T, Zahaki, Rombly and Kurt D. Thank you so much, you absolutely fantastic people. That's absolutely great. I hope you all have, of course, a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time. Take care.